Hi. Oh my god, the lighting. The lighting. Oh, I hate when this happens. I'll be right back, I promise. I'm just fixing the lighting issue. That way it's as good as it can get. Come on. Okay. I have a dog that's chasing me around. Okay. Okay, that's better. That's better. That's better. There's still some glares. But that's better. What if I go this way and I sit like this? Okay. Okay, that's it. Well, okay, but now you can see the calendar plan. You know what? It wasn't that bad the other way around. I just don't want like my plans getting out there. I don't want like anything that shouldn't be getting out there, you know? But I'm gonna talk about Girls Like Girls. Woo! It's the summer of the girls. We haven't had a summer of girls, like of girlhood, since 2023 when the Eras Tour was going on and when the Barbie movie came out. And now we're having another moment of the girls' summer with Girls Like Girls by Hayley Kiyoko coming out. I just want to first and foremost preface that like I've been with Hayley since her acting career. So like way back, like let's just say like Scooby Doo, Wizards, Lemonade Mouth, The Vampire Diaries. Like I've been here since her acting days. And like, even though I didn't know of her music until 2023, back when I saw her in concert, I I just loved her. Like, I loved her in Lemonade Mouth. I loved when she played Stella Yamada. I loved when she played Stevie in Wizards. Like, I've absolutely loved Hayley Kiyoko since forever. And the fact that it's been an 11-year journey to get Girls Like Girls the movie out is insane. And I'm someone that never goes and sees a movie like twice in theaters, but in order to show my support as an ally, I I have to go see it again because I have to do my duty as a US fan. So like international markets can see it cuz I believe Canada and obviously the US can see the Girls Like Girls movie. But like other than those two countries, it's not released anywhere else. And so it'll only be released everywhere if it does well opening weekend. And so I'm like, I have to go see it again. I have to go support. I have to make sure the international market gets this. And yeah. So like back to like me liking Hayley since like 2023. Or like I liked her acting since like way back when. But I didn't like really get into her music until 2023. I solely went for the fact that I only knew her Lemonade Mouth songs and Curious. Like those are like the only songs I've known from Hayley prior to seeing her back in 2023. And so when I love going to a show where like I know the artist, but like I don't know their songs, and then I get to fall in love with them, like the songs when I hear them live. So like I love Girls Like Girls, I love For the Girls, I love Panorama, I love Sleepover and She and Feelings and a bunch of other songs. And so I like I said, I just fell in love with seeing her back in 2023. And so the fact and then the movie came out, the movie, the book came out. Like the book Girls Like Girls came out like not long after she was on tour. And I had gotten it not long after it came out, but I didn't read it until last year. I was kind of like glad that I waited until last year to read it because then not long after I read the Girls Like Girls book, we got Where There's Room for Us. And I read that too, and we can see like even though there were still faults in like the ending for like Girls Like Girls and Where There's Room for Us, I think she improved tremendously with the writing from her first book to her second book because I know not every book needs to be dual narrative where we get to see like both characters or both MCs like personality and like their interests and like everything. But I feel like that can like tremendously help a story so we can see like how they're both falling for each other. Cuz like in Girls Like Girls, we only got Sonia's perspective if it was through her updates on like AIM or AOL. I have no idea if those are the same things. Like, don't judge me if they are the same things. But like, we only really got to look into how Sonia was feeling through her updates online. But with Where There's Room for Us, we have a dual perspective with Freya and Ivy, where we get to see how Freya's feeling and we get to see how Ivy's feeling. Also, I should preface, Freya is 100% a gay name. 100% a gay name. I am watching the originals. Freya Michelson, gay. Freya from Where There's Room for Us, gay. And then I have a Freya who I'm like currently writing because I'm my own writer, and so I always try to be like include like an LGBTQIA story and like my stories are right. And Freya's the one I chose to include, and she's realizing that she's pansexual, and so like Freya is 100% a gay name in my opinion. But like I like I said, I think she tremendously improved from book 1 to book 2 because she gave us that dual perspective. We got to see Freya and Ivy's input of like falling in love and how Ivy knew who she was, but Freya was still figuring out who she was, and Freya had this perspective that was like pushed upon her where two of her sisters were already gay, so she couldn't be gay because she had to produce an heir for her father because her older sister that was on her second kid, they're both girls, like they wouldn't be able to carry on the title. And so, but like if her sister that were gay to have children, like it's okay for them to be gay and like have children, but like they can't carry the title because it's a woman on woman relationships. Like it's accepted to be gay, but like it's not like accepted to be gay. And so like it's like internalized homophobia. Like you recognize that like people love who they love, but like you're not giving them the equal right that like a straight relationship would get. But like something that falls short in both Girls Like Girls and Where There's Room for Us is the ending. And I feel like I will get to like discussing the movie, but I just want to give some like backstory to this. And so like Girls Like Girls, we see Sonia going to dance camp and Nicole, like her life falls apart because oh what was me, the girl I love is gone, and like I need to fall on the wrong side of the tracks. And so we see Coley kind of like fall on the wrong side of the tracks with this girl. And so with this girl, she's doing all sorts of these things. Look, there's a cat. There's a cat right there. Hi, Yeti. Bro heard his name. But no, okay, so we see Coley falling on like the wrong side of the track. And so like I if you guys want me to discuss Girls Like Girls the book, I can like fully go into like a comparison of like the movie versus a book. But like right now I'm just trying to like give like what happened from like the ending or like the start of the ending to the actual ending. And so like we see Coley fall on the wrong side of the tracks and we see Sonia obsessing over Coley. I can't get you out of my head. I'm writing updates about you. I'm saying sorry because I did everything wrong. But like both Coley and Sonia get on my nerves for numerous reasons. But then again, they're teenagers and they're figuring out girls like boys do. Nothing new. And like Coley kind of like knew who she was, but Sonia was still like, well, that's just what like girls do with their best friends. Like they make out and like whatnot. Which is kind of like how I like wrote another character in like a different story where like she had a boyfriend that was like very toxic to her, but then like as a way to like blow off steam, she would make out with her best friend, and I'd just be like, oh, that's just what girls do. Like girls like girls. Like what, like it's just what best friends did. And so but like the girl she was kissing, Like that girl was in love with the girl. I hate this. I hate this. But like, so like as I was saying, Sonia was kind of like obsessing over Coley, and then we get to see like Coley like building her life and like how Sonia doesn't have as much of an impact on Coley as she thought she once did. And we see Coley was doing all sorts of things teenagers should not be doing. And she had a hookup, and that hookup had a hookup. And that hookup to the hookup was one of Sonia's best friends. And so she gets caught by him and the toxic ex-boyfriend. Hi. Thank you for the thumbs up. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate the thumbs up. And so we see like Coley get caught by this by the friend that like is friends with Sonia. And I don't know if that's kind of like the moment that like offsets her to like go back to the right track. But like after that, like Coley gets a job and she finds support in her coworkers, and um she sees like herself and her coworkers, where one of her coworkers, take a drink of water every time I say coworker, where they're gay and they're like open about it, and she's asking for this like advice and like how do you know, or like what is comfortable, and society and like how society sees that gay relationship. And we see Coley building a life without Sonia, and that one moment Sonia comes back, Coley tries to stand her ground, and she's like, I don't need to talk to her. I don't need to talk to her. And Sonia's like, don't be like that, Coley. Don't be like that. And then Coley's like, I get off at 11. So then after Coley gets off at work, she goes and talks with Sonia, and that's where like feelings get confessed. And like, but then Coley's like, I still can't do this. Like, if you can't be out and loud and proud about who you are, be strong, be heard, or be heard, be strong, be proud. However, the line goes from determinate. And is it determinate or here we go? Somebody will get their reference. And it's like Coley's just like telling Sonia, like, if you can't love me out loud, then I don't want to be with you. Like, I'm tired of having my heart played around with you. So yeah. And then Coley goes to the lake that they used to swim in together. And then another one of Sonia's friends like explains something that like got gossiped around, even though that wasn't the intention behind it. And she invites Coley to this party, saying Sonia would really like it if Coley came. And at this party in the book, we see like Coley and Sonia make up just like that. And I would have loved to see like the trust build back. I don't want them to like, oh yeah, we're talking again, let's kiss. Or like I'm not a it just felt rushed. And um but then like after Trenton comes out, he or that's the toxic boyfriend or boy that Sonia's messing around with. And so we see that happen, and then everybody's like, "Why would you do that, Coley?" And then Sonia was like, it wasn't Coley, like Trenton full on did this." And the whole ending, like it just went from like, I don't trust you, and if you can't be loud out and proud with me, then I don't want you. And then at the party, they just get back together. I just would have loved to see like a friendship develop more before they jump the gun and be like, we're friends again, you know? And then the same thing with there's room for us. It just felt like Freya and Ivy, like Ivy did something against Freya's family, and like once Freya found out about it, they like grew apart for a time, and we got to see Freya go through this tremendous growth like we did with Coley. And but then like once they're together, they see each other at the ball, and they get back together. And then we get like an epilogue where it's like a year later, and we see Ivy proposing to Freya. And it's just once again like, how do we go from there being no trust between the two to I love you and we're together to an engagement, all in the span of like 5 chapters. And okay, but like now that I've kind of like talked about like Where There's Room for Us and like Girls, the books, I am going to talk about like the movie finally. And so the Girls Like Girls movie. I loved it so much. I'm gonna go see it again. Like I said, I do not see movies more than once unless it has like a special place in my heart. So like No Way Home, I saw that once when it got released, and then I saw it re-released with one of my best friends. And then Thunderbolts, I saw that twice as well. I saw it when it released, and then I saw it when I came home. And yeah. So those are like the only two I can think of like where I saw it in the theater more than once. I'm sure there's like a couple other ones where I saw more than once. But yeah, so like this is a movie that like I feel like as an ally to the community, I have to like go see it again. That way like it has a good enough box office to like do outside of the US. And so like now I've kind of like given some like backstory. I've yapped for like 16 minutes of like how like I found Haley Kiyoko and like how long I've been with her and like backstory in the books. I like want to get into the movie. And so I have like, even though it was like it was a really good movie. I love that it came out during Pride Month. I love Myra and I love Maya. Haley did amazing. I will like there will be spoilers in this video. So like if you don't want to hear spoilers because you haven't seen it, this is your warning. Click off and then come back. Like one of the things, like first and foremost, like I saw an interview where like Girls Like Girls when it came out back in 2015, Haley wasn't ready to like she didn't want her face being attached to like a song like this, or like she was scared for her face to be attached to a song like Girls Like Girls. And so like that's kind of like why she wasn't in the music video. That's why she had Stephanie Scott who played oh my god, what was her name? It wasn't Paisley. That was a dumb blonde. But like who was the other girl from Ant Farm? Lexi. She played Lexi in Ant Farm. And then we had the actress who played Michaela in Pair of Kings. Like Stephanie was Coley, and then the actress who played Michaela in Pair of Kings was Sonia. And like she just didn't want her face attached to like because she was kind of like scared of like how the public would like perceive that of her. And like when like 11 years later when this movie finally came out, when I saw Haley on that screen, I screamed. I was like, that's Haley fucking Kiyoko. Lesbian Jesus, y'all. Like she made it in the movie. Like she wasn't afraid to like actually put herself in media words. Girls, like boys do. Nothing new. And and then, like, let me just say, I'm not someone that like ever reads a book before a movie adaptations, like The Hunger Games. I watched the movies, haven't read the books. The Maze Runner, I only read the first book because it was for a book club, but other than that, I have not read the other books. But I've watched the movies. Same thing with Percy Jackson and like Twilight. Like, if there's a movie for the book, I'm not gonna read it. But then you have like exceptions where it's like The School for Good and Evil. I read the books, all 8 books, like the 6 and then the 2 prequels. And the movie did not do the book justice, and I'm so mad about that. And then like the Girls Like Girls, like I read the book before I watched the movie, and so like when certain things were like said in the movie, I was like, "Oh my god, that's from the book." And so like when Trenton was like, "Oh, Sonia just has a thing for picking up strays," I was like, "That's from the book. That's from the book." And then like the same thing with like Olive Juice. Like I love Juice. Olive, like I was like, oh my god, that's from the book. And then like we have the denim jacket, we have like the dancing scene, and like after like Sonia shows Coley her dance moves, we see like Sonia say like, "Oh, you better follow up with your talk." And so then Coley had to do a dance for Sonia, and then like Sonia was like, "I'm so sorry," and like she ran out and she threw up because they were also doing things that teenagers should not be doing. And so yeah. And then like there's like obviously like other things like that were in the movie. We got to see the relationship between Coley and like her dad grow. We got to see like I feel like there's gonna be way more negative things that I'm gonna talk about because like I said, I read the book over the movie. Or no, I read the book before the movie. And so like a lot of it is like, oh, where's this scene? And where's this scene? And where's this scene? And I'm trying to give like as much praise as I can to this movie without just like absolutely dogging on it for like 20 straight minutes. And so, but then it kind of also feels like the book had more of a focus on like the friends. So we had like SJ and Alex and Brooke and Trenton, and we got to see more of Sonia's friend life and like how they became friends. Now there was this little pony that like ran Trenton over and like that's kind of how they became friends. And then we like learned that like Sonia only told SJ about Coley's mom because SJ's sister was in the same like situation. And so but when she got the help and the medicine and therapy, like she's much better now. And so like that's kind of like why Sonia told SJ. And I feel like that backstory would have been so good. That way it wasn't just like Sonia telling a friend and then another friend overhearing that conversation and then it just getting spread around. And so that's kind of like one of my gripes with the movie because I just like the I know it's about Sonia and Coley, but it's still like you could have given more development to the friends other than having them just be there. Because in the book, they're more than just being there. Because at that party scene where we see Coley and Alex sitting at the stairs, there's more of a conversation between the two um where Alex tells her the story of like how they became friends and like why he's still friends with somebody like Trenton and how Sonia really does have a thing for picking strays from the street. And I just feel like that moment was lost. And like the only thing we got from that was like Coley taking a sip from Alex's drink and him saying she looks like hell. And then she kisses him, trying to see like, is it just like a Sonia thing where like I only like her and like I'm meant to like guys, or is it just like a oh no, I definitely like girls and this kiss just cemented that. And so I just wish there was like more to that conversation because there is more to that conversation in the book. And like I know not everything can be adapted from the book to the movie, but I feel like the movie could have been so much better than it already was. If there was like 10 more minutes of screen given. And like I could have like we could have had that like that moment with Alex and Coley. Or we could have had like another moment to develop Coley and Sonia's relationship where we have this like barn party. And at this barn party, we meet a girl named Faith, and we see this competitiveness between Faith and Sonia because they go to dance camp together. And we also see like Faith giving this warning to Coley and saying like be careful with Trenton, like he bullied my brother severely, so much so he left for a different school. And at this party we get to see like SJ is like hooking up with this guy, and like he had her clothes and he bolted when the cops got called. And then Coley had to give her jacket, and then like we see them like hiding in this poison oak um like field as like a way to like hide from the cops. And like with this poison oak we see this like relationship develop between I have to check something. We see this relationship like further develop between Coley and Sonia. And so like we get like a sleepover and how like Sonia's trying to like or Coley's trying to refrain herself. I'm like, I cannot have a sleepover with Sonia because like it's gonna confirm that I have feelings for Sonia. And but like Sonia's like, you're covered in poison ivy. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning. Like, I need to get you clean. And like you're staying the night that way, like you're not stumbling into your apartment at 2 a.m. and like your dad has questions raised, like, where have you been all night? Why are you coming home at 2 a.m.? Why didn't you tell me you were gonna come home this late? Like just a typical dad questions. And so like that whole scene could have like further developed Sonia and Coley's relationship. And like I didn't even know that that scene was missing, or the one with Alex and Coley, until like I kind of like skimmed through the book. Because when I skimmed through the book, because there was like a couple things where like I was like, oh, this isn't in the book. Like this is not how the book ended, and this is not how the music video ended. Because like I said, at the end of the book, Coley beats Trenton up because he's a POS. And that's not at the end of the movie. And I was like so mad about that because like why is Trenton getting away with being a POS and then you get to just be with Sonia? And like I get like not everything needs like justice served, but like that could have really showed it to Trenton like you love Sonia and you still could have beaten his ass. Like that's something like I immediately picked up and I kept literally shouting, that's not how the book ends. I literally shouted, that's not how the book ends. And then like I had no idea that there was a post credit scene, but like Marvel has trained me to like always save for a movie, like in case that there is a post credit scene. And so when I did, I was like, oh, this is gonna be the scene. This is gonna be the scene. And then it's just like the true last page of the book where it's like, don't you forget to message me. Like, promise you'll message me because if you don't, I know where you live and I'll hunt you down. That's like what Sonia tells Coley. And like we see them kiss, and that's the ending. And like I sound so ungrateful. And like I said, I don't want to be griping on this movie because it is such an amazing movie. And like I am glad that it's finally here 11 years later. But like as someone that like has read the book and also watched the movie and the music video, there's just elements that are missing that could have like further developed the characters. And I just want to know, like, will we be getting a DVD release? If we get a DVD release, like I don't want a digital release. I absolutely do not want a digital release. I want a DVD. I want bonus features. I want behind the scenes. I want deleted scenes. Like I want to know, like, did you actually film like the Poison Ivy scene, or why do I keep Poison Ivy, Poison Oak scene, or like did you film like a different ending where Trenton actually got the beating that was coming to him, and did you show that like Brooke actually like was defending Trenton and his actions, and like how could you say Trenton would do something like this? Like he would never do something like this. Like I'm just very, and then like another scene that like got like deleted. It didn't get like, the scene just got shortened. And so like in the book we had the scene where like Coley and Sonia are like walking on train tracks, and like yes, that is like in the movie. We don't get to see like Coley saving Sonia's life from like a train literally coming and almost hitting her because she wouldn't move out the way. And it's like, where was it in the movie? Where was it in the movie? I was just, that's just something that I really wanted in the movie. Like I immediately picked up on why wasn't the train track in the movie? Like why was it that like Sonia almost getting hit by a train in the movie? Um and so like some of my notes, I was like, remembered this after watching the movie. So like I already talked about the final meeting with Trenton. I asked why the friends got sidelined. I also didn't one of the guys catch Coley with the girls, or with the girl she was like having a hookup with? And like I answered that. Um did one of the girls tell Coley her sister almost took her own life as like a sympathy as to why Sonia blabbed about like Coley's mom? Why didn't we not get, so like another thing is like why didn't we get Sonia's perspective from summer camp? Because like I said, I feel like this movie could have done so much better if we had an hour and 45 minutes instead of like an hour and 35 minutes, because those like last 10 minutes or like 7 to 10 minutes are just credits. So that means like the movie's only really like an hour, and like 25 minutes. And now we're in like 28 minutes. And so we never got to see Sonia at dance camp. We never got to see the competitiveness between her and Faith. We never got to see how she's actually feeling about Coley, how she's discovering she can't think about anything other than Coley, how her mom has all these expectations on her about dancing, and how Sonia can't stop if she wants to because this is what her mom wants. She has to do what her mom pleases. And like once again, the mom gets sidelined as well as the friends. Like we see the mom in like one scene, and then we hear her voice and like see the back of her in like the next scene. And but we don't get to see this like forced perspective of like her mom having all these expectations on her. And like that's why she goes to dance camp, and that's why she has all those medals, and like why she did that dance for Coley and like everything. And I just feel like not only could the Poison Oak scene have done so much for Coley and Sonia, it could have also like we could have also gotten Sonia's perspective of like falling for Coley even more, how she can't get her out of her head. And yeah. um Why did Coley's coworkers also get sidelined? Like Coley confides in her coworker when she sees one of them has a boyfriend, and yet where was that growth? Where was the scene where Sonia almost gets hit by a train? I knew there was more to the scene where Alex shared drink with Coley. It gave the development that their friend group needed. Coley didn't confront Sonia about like when like Coley like Sonia told her, because Coley asked if they could see each other like before Sonia goes off the dance camp, and Sonia's like, I can't, I'm busy packing. And then like Coley realized like, oh shit, like you still have my mom's jacket. And so like Sonia or Coley went to Sonia's house to go get the jacket. And when Coley got the jacket back, she confronted her like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you playing me along? Like, what is wrong with you? And like that's also like a scene that got shortened because in the book we also see Coley confronting Sonia in that same scene about why did you tell your friend about my mom? Like I trusted you when I told you this, and then you go and you went and you blabbed. Like I knew that was a scene that was missing. Cause like when I watched it, I was like, confront the bitch about your mom. Like don't just let her get away with this. The last page is word for word in the post credit for Girls Like Girls, but where was like I said, where was the beat done for Trenton? And then like that's like kind of like what I remembered on my own. And like when I and then I said remembered with the help of the book. So like when I say remembered with the help of the book, I mean I kind of like skimmed the book to like kind of like find the missing pieces. Like I was figuring out were in the movie on my own. And so like with that, I was like, where is the barn scene? Why did it get cut? Faith knew Sonia before. One of the friends were naked or like in her underwear and her bra. The Poison Oak shower. Like, why are there several chapters cut from the movie? Like, there were at least like 3 chapters cut from the movie. And well, like obviously like more than 3 chapters because we don't get the end. We like Sonia's friends get sidelined, and the final scene with Trenton Coley and Sonia, like that gets cut. And yeah, the parties Coley went to midway through the movie was a payback for her saving SJ at the barn party. It's where that Sheila and Sonia was leaving. Like, where was that? Whatever. And then, like, in the book, I also learned that, like, Coley cut her hair as, like, a way to, like, kind of, like, wash Sonia away. And then Sonia also cut her hair as, like, a way to, like, wash Coley away. And it's like, why didn't we see more growth from the characters? Like, I was really hoping that this movie would have given us a better ending than we would have gotten from the book. And it just didn't. It did not. And I feel so bad for like griping about this movie for like 15 minutes, but like I'm someone that like when I do read the book before the movie, I'm gonna have a lot to say. And like I understand the frustration people had with like the Percy Jackson, how the movies did not do the books justice, but like the show is doing the books justice. And it's like I never understood that until like I watched The School for Good and Evil, and how The movie did not do justice to the book at all. At all. And I'm trying to think of like where was going before I brought up The School for Good and Evil. Um But like maybe it's just like maybe like all of this happened for like a reason. And like since this movie like almost got filmed in like several different locations, it was like an 11-year journey to get like the music video adapted to a movie, and like Haley thinking it would never happen. So she gave us like the book perspective. And maybe because like it was an independent film, they didn't really have the money to give Sonia's friends more of a speaking role. They didn't really have the money to give her mom more of a speaking role. They didn't have the money to give Sonia's little sister actual words to say, because in the book she does like, oh yeah, Sonia's in there throwing up. Like she actually talks in the book. And maybe it was just like a money thing, and like she really just wanted it to be more focused on Coley and Sonia. But then again, like you could have still included the Poison Oak scene and the barn party. And we could have gotten another scene on top of the Coley and Sonia content, as well as the train track scene. Like that could have, like, what could have hurt adding like an extra 2 minutes to that scene? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But that is all like I have to say about the movie. Because like I said, I don't want to gripe about this movie for like too long, because it is such an amazing movie, and I am going to go see it again. I'm going to go see it again in like half an hour. And so like I need to kind of like wrap this up that way I can like leave and like get there. I don't know if I'm going to get snacks. I might get like an icy. I don't know about anything else. But yeah, I just wanted to like talk about this before like I watched it for a second time, and like before kind of like refreshing my memory of like some of the scenes from the book. That way it wasn't just like, oh yeah, all of this was missing, even though I was like, all of this was missing. I would love to talk about like the book versus the movie, even though I kind of like did that in like a lot of this video. But like I just like skimmed the book. So like I don't really have like the in-depth of like what actually happened at that barn party, or like Sonia at dance camp. Like I don't really have that like in-depth perspective, because it has been like over a year since I have read the book. And so like I would love to reread the book and then like give a true comparison of book versus movie. Um which means if this is going to be my last time seeing the movie, I need to like give it more of like a critic's perspective and like take notes, cuz like I have access to reading the book whenever I want. I have both the hardcover and the movie cover of the movie cover edition of the book. And so, yeah. Cuz like I don't know if this is going to be released on streaming. If it is, I don't know if it's going to be behind a paywall. I really want this on DVD. That way like I can buy it and I can watch it whenever I want without having to pay for it. And yeah. So with that being said, if you really like this review of Haley Kiyoku's Where the Truth for Us, Girls Like Girls, I I have other movie reviews. They're only for Marvel, and I've done like Love and Thunder. I've done Guardians 3. I've done No Way. I think I've done No Way Home. What other? Like I've done a lot of like Marvel movies, and like I've like briefly given like a review about Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet, and I have a review about Mulan that I'm really hoping to get out this month, because it is Pride Month, and Shang what's his name? Li Shang. Li Shang is our Bai King, and it's like I really want to get that out during Pride Month. So yeah, I have a review for Guardians 3. I have a review for Love and Thunder. I know that much. What else do I have a review? I see Love and Thunder. I think those are the only movie reactions I have, or like reviews. I could be wrong. I also do like reviews, reactions to like Marvel trailers, and I obviously have like album reactions on my channel. I'm trying to see if like I've done any other like movie reviews. I've done a reaction to the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, talking about Rapunzel Tangled the series, and oh yeah, No Way Home. I did that 4 years ago. Okay. I was like, I swear I've done a reaction for No Way Home. I have. So like, yeah, those are like kind of like other reaction videos I have. I don't think I'm gonna do one for Toy Story, but I plan I that video that like of me comparing Frozen and Tangled, it is coming. I promise you, it is coming. But yeah, so like if you like this type of content, I have other movie reviews, reactions. You guys could go watch. Comment down below like what were your thoughts about Girls Like Girls, the movie. And oh, something else I really quickly wanted to talk about was it being rated R. And I'm kind of curious to know the reason behind it being rated R because I saw someone else discussing this online and how is it rated R solely because it is a movie about lesbians, which I think is totally fucking unfair, or is it like a movie rated R because like there is drugs and there is mention of SHing and there is drinking, underage drinking, and like is that why it's rated R? But like if it is rated R because it is a movie about lesbians, I think that's so fucked up because imagine someone that's like under 18 and they can't see the movie because it is rated R. Because their parents don't support the gays and they aren't able to see representation not only of like someone that is a lesbian, someone that is part of the community, but also somebody of color. Like that's two minority communities that is blocked by it being rated R. Yeah. So like I said, there's other movie reactions and trailer reactions and reviews. Like if you guys want to go watch that, go watch it. If you like guys like Girls Like Girls, or if you like this type of content, comment down below. Like, what was your favorite part about the movie? Were there any catches that you caught from the book adaptation to the movie adaptation? And then give the channel a thumbs up if you like this channel, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have a goal of hitting 200 subscribers this year, and I'm at like 120 something. So like I'm less than 80 away, which is amazing. And with that being said, I will see you guys in my next video. Oh, also two more things, and then I'm not even gonna say goodbye again. I am wearing periwinkle nails because Sonia is known as a periwinkle princess. Periwinkle Princess is a song by August Pontier and Hayley Kiyoko. I saw August open for Hayley back in 2023, and I completely fell in love with August and knew them before they were August, which is wild. And yeah. And then I also wanted to like show you my shirt. This is the shirt I got when I saw Hayley for the Panorama tour. It says Panorama on it because it's called the Panorama tour. And then like this is her face, and then it says tour at the bottom, and it has like North America, and it has like the UK and Europe, and then on the back are the dates. I went to the San Francisco show. This is a concert I went to with one of my friends. She literally got her to like, she literally texted me. She was bored, and I was like, "I'm going to a concert. Do you want to come with?" And my Uber was about to pull up in like 10 minutes, so she had to book it from the school cafeteria, and she came with me to the concert, and that was our first out of 5 concerts, and I cannot wait to see what our sixth concert will be. Yeah. Okay, now I really have to go because the movie starts in, like, less than 20 minutes, and I just my car keys, my wallet, I have to get in my car and, like, drive there. So, yeah. Bye.